Hi, I'm Carol Dickson-Carr, and you'll see my introduction again, but I had to add a clip at the very beginning after I had done the video because I didn't realize that Bea had brainwaved me just a teeny tiny bit. She talked about podcasting and mentioned one tool that I will have mentioned in this video. So I thought it was cool that we brainwaved, but I just wanted to let you know that I didn't realize she was talking about podcasting, which is also a pretty cool tool. And also has to do with audio. Okay, so stay tuned. You'll hear me again in just a split second. Hello, my name is Carol Dickson-Carr, and I am the owner and president of Managing Personal Resources, Inc. here in Dallas, and I'm also a principal with B Fields for the Business Pulse 2008 program. And I wanted to talk to you today about technology, just one little tiny element of technology. You see we're using video, but what I wanted to talk to you about was the use of audio. No, that's not a new concept, not a new concept. But what reminded me of the fact that audio actually does permeate in so many ways, podcasts, teleclasses are one thing that you've probably been privy to, but the obvious stuff from way back, the music. I had found out a few days ago that Sony BMG Entertainment is going to allow, it's one of the last holdouts, it's going to allow Amazon.com to use their music without, or sell their music without copy protection, which I think is pretty cool. So what I wanted to talk to you about is actually thinking about creating your own programs, not necessarily music, but that was kind of the catalyst that got me wanting to talk about it. And it doesn't really matter what the economy looks like. I know there's a lot of buzz, especially in the U.S., about the falling dollar and layoffs and credit crisis, and we just heard about countrywide, and there's just a lot of things going on, but strangely enough, I'm really not that concerned. I'm not that concerned, especially because of the technology piece. And I'm really inspired. I want to say I'm of the mind, even though I am an economist by trade and degrees. I actually teach at SMU economics classes, but I am very inspired by this rather wealthy economist, multi-millionaire economist named Paul Zane Pilzer. And he came up with this concept of wealth, a formula for wealth. He says that wealth equals physical resources times technology. So one little equation for you, just one, I promise, just one, just one. It's the professor in me. I won't show you any more equations today anyway. But W times equals P times T is the formula, and it just made me think, okay, technology. You can produce more with less, and case in point would be the audio. For example, about 3 years ago, I created an audio program using an unnamed service. They did the best they could, but it wasn't the best, and I did have to pay for it, and I did a lot of cleanup in my audio sweetening program. I use Adobe Audition just because I have other hobbies. But Audacity is free, and you can actually do all kinds of wonderful things with Audacity, and it's free. Also, there's freeconferencecall.com. So now, 3 years ago, I had a lot of cleanup to do from recording my interviews. If it was just me, then I would have just used my program. But now, I'm privy to a lot of things that you can do without having to pay anything. So what I'd like you to do, I have an invitation for you. I want you to first think about, because I know you have one, I know you have an important message out there that you need to share with the world, or some area of expertise. Just brainstorm around that. That's the first step, and please don't let that gremlin stop you in your tracks. Stream of consciousness is your best bet. You don't have to show it to anybody right away. Number 2, record what you've got in there, and it can be a draft at first, and you can go back to step 1 if you want, go back and forth with it. Some people like to start with the recording. And then number 3, you got to tell everybody in the world about what you're up to. Tell them about this great message, and you can expand this stuff into ultimately you can expand it into a series that you can sell online, the MP3s. Some people like the old school of CDs, but a lot of people want to conserve space. So and put it on their iPod. That's me. That's my husband. So that's my invitation to you, because I believe that everybody has a story inside them. So, what's yours?